Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the upgrades to the Socket 939 build I made, which I called Problem Box, but actually going to rename it the Black Lotus. I don't know, it just seems a bit more nicer. Anyway, going on with that, there was some issues which have been resolved and not resolved. So let's talk about those issues. First of all, we have a GPU issue. This card right here, which is the X1800XT 512MB card, I was really excited to use this card because it's got Ruby on the front. It's also a rare card, don't see it very often. Unfortunately, this card has fallen foul to one of its own design, I wouldn't say flaws, but when these cards first came out, there was a batch or a failure rate there. These things would just crash for no reason. No blue screen, no error. The screen would just freeze for no apparent reason. I've tried many different things to fix this. I've tried flashing the BIOS. I've tried to reflow the memory because maybe it's the memory problem, because it only happens when you load up a game. If you don't load a game and just do 2D word processing and that kind of thing, it's absolutely fine. So that's a real big shame. I can't do anything with this graphic card. So I probably will put it on eBay just so someone else can try and fix it. Maybe they can fix it. I will naturally state the faults with the card because I'm that kind of guy. I'm not going to lie, am I? And yeah, so let's discuss the other issues. But before I go into those other issues, what did I replace the graphic cards with? That graphic card with? Well, the graphic card I replaced is a GeForce 7900 GS from BFG, and this card's very, very special to me. Here's a picture of it right here. It's very special to me because this was the first GPU I ever bought brand spanking new, and I really, really do like it. It's an upgrade slash downgrade. The reason why it's a downgrade because this is only a 256MB card. For this system, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And it's slightly more powerful. It's kind of like a 78 GT, but just rebadged. That's from what I can tell, just from looking up the specs of the card. I could have replaced it with a 7900 GTX, which is 20% faster, has double the memory, and this would be miles better. But I kind of don't want to use these. These are quite nice cards from EVGA. I do have two of these, which I'm just going to hold on to them and see what happens. Okay, the other issues were actually the power supply mount did not come with this case. And originally I didn't really care because I wasn't even thinking about keeping this case. I thought I was just going to sell it on or give it away or recycle it, if I'm honest, but I kind of fallen for it. I guess it's because it reminds me of the Maxi Shine PC build from 2007, which had dual 8800 GTXs, QX6700, pretty much a machine I wish I could have owned back in the day. But it didn't have the power supply mount, and I was going to make my own, but instead I got this one. What I had to do is buy another Lian LI case which was only £10, and scavenge the parts off it. So I know it's not the right colour, but it'll be the back of the machine. Shouldn't to make too much of an issue, and if it does upset me I can always spray paint it black, but it's not really too much of an issue. And with that case I bought came something a little bit of a bonus. One of these little fan brackets from Zalman. And this is wonderful because this will go above my 79GS and cool it. So it'll blow out onto the actual GPU because you can mount a fan around here, like an 80mm fan, which I have right over here from Zalman. So you literally just mount it like that above the GPU, therefore adding more cooling. And this would have been around at the time as well, so it's kind of period correct. I mean, this machine is semi-period correct, especially when it comes to performance. And don't want that stuff to fall down. We have got these Zigmatech fans, which are white LED, which are not period correct, but I think white LEDs would be nice. And these came with another bundle with an X58 board, which, well, it's a Rampage 2 I got for a tenner, which is $12. It works, but the RAM slots are a bit iffy, and it only seems to like Corsair RAM. Any other brand I put in there, flat out rejects. But that's okay, I've got Corsair RAM. Okay, this one's a bit of a bit of a pet peeve with me. This is a Zalman, what is this? A Zalman ZMFC1 Plus, and I really want to put this into the Black Lotus because it looks amazing. It has the aluminium look which I want, but the seller from eBay is a bit of a, how can I put this politely, bit special. He says this is working absolutely fine, and I'm like, okay, great, I'll buy it. Get this, power cable's missing. And I say to him, can you please look for the power cable, please, because I can't use this without the power cable. And he says, no, I don't have it, you got it cheap, don't worry about it, you can find it on eBay. It's like, no, this is a proprietary power connector. It's a 4-pin with a slight cut inside. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is proprietary. There's no way I can buy this off eBay. I'd have to buy another one of these. I mean, I've got all the fan connectors which are easily replaceable, and this would look amazing in the Black Lotus. But I can't use it until I source another power cable. It's going to take forever. So I was going to send it back, but I decided to be a bit petty. I just left the guy some really negative feedback, because if I was to send this back, it would cost me more just to repackage it. Because the packaging he used was literally wrapped up in sellotape so much you kind of have to destroy the packaging to get to it. So that's a bummer, but I do have an alternative. It's not period correct. It is a Aero, what is it? Aero Cool F4 XT. This is brand new in box, never been used. It's black. It'll fit. It has the 4 fans, which PC should only have 3 fans, like 4 fans. It does have a 4 fan because I put one next to the graphic card. So that would be spectacular inside the machine. And I've got fan filters because the one at the front of the system died. Well, they didn't die, it just disintegrated. So I'm probably going to be putting a Silverstone in one in there. But I could also put one of these magnetic ones. I might put one of these magnetic ones on one of the inside fans. I don't know. Let's see how I feel. And back to something a little bit less, I guess, interesting. Drives. I'm going to be replacing 100% the drive in there, which is it's a blue. No, it's not blue. Don't know why I said blue. It's a beige 2004 DVD drive. I think it's Sony drive. But the problem is when it opens up, it goes for this little latch thing on the Lian LI case, and it keeps getting stuck. I think the DVD drive just isn't powerful enough to push it through. So I'm probably going to be using this one, which is an LG drive. It's from 2008, so it's about 4 years younger. It looks pretty decent. It has secure disc. Don't know what that is. That's fair enough. And I'm also going to be putting this Blu-ray drive in it. I know it's not period correct, but it's got like a brushed aluminium look to it. I think it'll just look really fetching on the back, or on the actual system. And this also came part of that X58 bundle for 12 quid. So not 12 quid, £10, $12. And I have no idea if it works, but they'll fill up a spot, because the problem is with my Lian case, I've got 2 front missing bays, bay covers. I've got silver bay covers, but not black. And I don't think you can dye aluminium. So I'm just going to try and fill up the slots, which are currently used up by plastic like placeholders. It doesn't look great. It does the job, but it doesn't look great. Anyway guys, I'm going to be putting the upgrades in, and I'll show you before and after. Alright, we're the next day, and I spent a long time trying to do stuff to the system, and some of it went well, some of it didn't go so well. So you can see I've installed the Zalman fan bracket here. Discovered that this case always had a little bit of a rattle. Couldn't work out what the hell it was. It's these back plates. I need to replace these with something which is less likely to vibrate so excessively. The new fans are in. Excuse the wires. The reason why I haven't cable managed is because I need to get new SATA cables, particularly for the drives, because these are a bit short. I need to get about 50cm cables. So there's no point in me cable managing this, even though there's no actual air coming through here, just because I would like it to look nice. Like if you look at my main system, you can see I'm not the best cable management person, but I'm not terrible either. Fan brackets in. So now the power supply is secure. Yeah, that is the front, and you probably noticed that there is a fan controller missing. What happened is that the fan controller I wanted to use, the air cool, was only for Molex fans. I've never seen that before, so that kind of sucks. I do have a Silverstone 3-slot fan controller thing, but I do need the actual bracket to put it in. So I put in this storage bin thing here instead, so it just opens up like that. So I can put stuff in there just to fill up the spot. Blu-ray drive, which is completely untested, works. I mean, I haven't used the Blu-ray in it, but it works for CDs, DVDs. The new drive up here, it still gets caught, but not as bad. So it'll get caught on the way back in instead of both. Because the old drive would get caught, wouldn't even be able to open the actual, I suppose you'll call it a bay, won't be able to open up the cover, and it'll get stuck both ways. So let's talk about future plans for the system. I'm wanting to probably take out this cooler, not to replace it, but to maybe try and restore the copper glow to it. Maybe use some metal polish. I don't know if metal polish will work on copper. It probably would, just to give it a bit more of a nice vibrant look to it. Because if you look at the heat sinks, the cooler, and then the RAM heat sinks, so pretty much all the heat sinks, they've all kind of got the same color scheme going on. Even the GPU has a very similar heatsink copper design going on, so I'm really liking that. I want to keep that going, but I do want to add another 1 gig of RAM. I'd like to find some OCZ Performance RAM 512. I remember seeing them in the past, but these things have now become valuable, which is irritating, which means it becomes hard to find. And upgrade that. The CPU, I'm not really too concerned about upgrading the CPU. It's a bit slow. I think it might actually be bottlenecking the 7900GS slightly, which is quite disappointing. Maybe I'm wrong, but like for example, when I play Oblivion on this system, and Oblivion has not aged well, just in graphics and visuals, I'm getting about 80% usage on the GPU, which is kind of suggesting a bottleneck. I could overclock this, put it up to 2.4, 2.2, something like that, but I just don't want to risk the motherboard, if I'm honest. The motherboard is so nice, it's so good to have an Asus board which works properly. I mean, a lot of these boards flake out and go bad, and I just don't want that to happen with this particular system. I've also got to try and source some proper mounting screws for these cages. I mean, if you know what the screws even look like and what you're actually supposed to use to mount this, because I literally got random odds and ends screws and just pretty much ghettoed them in. But I mean, they're in. They won't come out unless you actually make them come out. But I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of my vibration is coming from. I know that it also has vibration because the doors are not on, so these things vibrate. It's quite convenient about this because there's actually a little slot bit on the side door here, so where the fan is, there's actually an opening. I do want to change the back plates because they don't let any air out. So I reckon this is actually becoming a hot pocket for air. I know that this whole thing is actually a cheese grater and it's got holes everywhere there, but I'm thinking it's kind of staying inside the corner. I think maybe the sound card is blocking a lot of air, and then that is creating problems and issues. But overall, this is becoming from a 2005 gaming PC to a more of a early 2006 gaming PC. And I don't know if I actually want to upgrade the graphic card into the future. I would love to be 27900GSs. So if you guys do have a 7900GS which you would be willing to part with for a decent price and not asking ridiculous money for it, and let me know inside the comments. If you guys have any suggestions, apart from the cable management, because that will not be like this forever, I will be fixing this eventually. It's just at the point now where I just can't really do anything because of the SATA cables and the IDE cable at the top there. It's not too bad, but it's just a case where I will need to spend about an hour or two just sorting out these cables and also sorting out these cables down here. There will be a way of doing this, it's just I haven't done it yet. It's just not feasible right now to do it this way. Yeah, I'm just going to pause it for a moment, guys, so I can get some games I'm going to show you to play on it. So these are the kind of games I'm going to be playing on this system. I've already played Unreal Tournament 2004. I'm getting about 150 to 200 frames with this current setup, which is pretty decent. Oblivion destroys this computer completely. I can play it. I'm playing about 760p. I know that's a bit of a weird resolution, but that's what this TV plays at behind. Don't know if you can see the TV, because I wanted a screen which had a lower resolution so I can have that old retro gaming experience. Then we've got my Jet Empire. I think this will absolutely destroy Jet Empire. Simpsons Hit and Run will be no problem. Fable will be no problem. Don't know about Mercenaries. I think that might be a bit of an issue. SimCity 4 I don't know about. Doom 3 I think will be... I think this will be able to destroy Doom 3 pretty easily. Knights of the Old Republic 2 should be alright. Black and White 2, that should be pretty sweet. Far Cry, I think this thing will destroy Far Cry. Unreal Tournament 3, I think that's going to be a challenge. And Fear, I think Fear will also be a challenge. So guys, again, if you have any suggestions, or if you've had this kind of equipment before, or even if you have the power cable for this thing, let me know. Because I really would like it. I'd really like to... Alright, that was random. The camera just decided to cut me off. So what I was saying, so guys, if you have any suggestions or any ideas for this system, I would be very happy to listen to your ideas. Please put them inside the comments. If you want to see my future products, just do a subscribe and stuff. Naturally, this is just a hobby for me. I'm not a full-time YouTuber or anything, so I make videos for my own pleasure and my own... Yeah, you get the idea. But if you do like them, please comment and tell me what you would suggest. What if you had these parts inside the past, in particular. And I've just noticed the IO shield is coming out slightly. What's going on with that? That's weird. Huh. I've never seen that before. Anyway, so yeah. What games would you play on this system? It'd be quite funny if someone actually owned the system just like this, literally part for part, apart from the Blu-ray drive naturally. And thank you for watching my my shambles of a video. I guess subscribe if you want to see more.